What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor and Lorraine. Welcome back to another week of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. I am joined as always by my best pal, Mr. Shaun. Shaun, how's it going?
Good, Conor. Excited for another week of movie news and weird news and other some stuff.
So you mentioned that weird news. About halfway through this episode, we are going to transition into weird news. So if you're here for movie news, great. That's the first half of the episode.
Lucky you.
But halfway through, timestamp down below, if Shaun remembers, is
100% success.
We get into the weirdest news stories from all around the world. We talk about the news that the real news is too afraid to talk about. So that's just a bit of a laugh. You can join us for that if you want. It's not as serious.
Not as serious as the first half of the show, which is critical information.
It's critical, and we don't. It's purely just objective at the start.
Oh yeah.
So
there's no emotion in it at all.
I secretly hate Shaun, but I hide it well.
And Conor's my best friend.
It's the odd couple.
You know, that classic dynamic.
Classic dynamic of one person likes the other and the other person hates them. That old chestnut that we all know and love.
I know it well. God, I'd love to be on the other end sometime.
Stop being such a dickhead. So if this is your first episode, you don't have to do anything, just chill out. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you can help the show. That'd be absolutely great. We're going for 150 5-star reviews on Spotify by the summer solstice, which is a date we picked randomly.
Wait, look, for thousands of years people have been planning things around the summer solstice, Conor.
Us and the Aztecs are the two main ones, and for some reason we chose that. So it's June 21st to 23rd, so around then we're looking for 150 5-star reviews. So if you click on the 3 stars at the top on Spotify, click on rate show, just do it there. If you're on Apple Podcasts, right,
that all counts as well, yeah. But
I'd like a review there. But we also have a Patreon with extra movie reviews if you want to head on over there. We recently reviewed Batman and Robin, 1997's classic, and February's movie of the month. We will put up a little bit of a post over on the Patreon later on this week, and what will happen is we basically give the patrons a decision. What do they want us to review?
Yeah, and it all gets thrown into a hat, and the hat is fairly stocked at the minute. And as I'm hesitant to say, it's full of some good movies as well. So,
which means we have to do more work. See, it's one of those we've been burned. We flew too close to the sun because obviously the patrons fucked with us for at least a year and a half and just chose terrible movies.
Yeah,
so the hat got stocked up with the worst movies, and then we did them all. And now people are being nice because we insulted them too many times.
we did. Part of being a patron is that we do insult you on the regular. But yeah, now there's actual critically successful movies in there that we then have to try and add our own thoughts to, and we're idiots.
Oh, that's good lighting.
Yeah, we're just, texture comes up a lot.
How Irish people show love is we insult you. That's just the way of our culture. We can't help that.
That's how we were raised.
It's how we were raised. So, Shaun, enough of all that stuff. It's time to get into some of the week's news. So, last week, all the way back, if you could remember, last Sunday, Shaun.
Go Birds.
Not Sunday last week, the week before. Go Birds, I heard, yes, exactly. There was a little thing called the Superbowl, which a lot of people showed up to. I'm not quite sure. It's some sort of event or something. I'm not quite up to date with that.
It's like soccer, but not. I'm confused.
Why is it called football? They use their hands most of the time. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, there was lots of trailers going on at half time, and during the ad breaks.
That CGI stitch looks weird, doesn't it?
Oh, real bad. We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, good. Thank God.
But the main one we are going to talk about is probably the trailer that caught my eye the most. It was the Thunderbolts trailer, which is our first official trailer for this movie, for the MCU. We had a teaser that I think doesn't really count.
No, but there's not. The teaser was a fine enough trailer. Like, this doesn't add too much more. It just gives us a better look at some characters and confirms which character is absolutely dead right out of the gate.
100%. So look, Thunderbolts, if anyone doesn't know, is the MCU's new anti-hero team. Think of the Suicide Squad, but for the MCU. But hopefully better than 2016 Suicide Squad. But maybe not as good as the Suicide Squad from James Gunn in 2021.
I would love if it was as good as the Suicide Squad.
Pretty good. That's a good movie. That's a very good movie. So Thunderbolts is coming out. You've got Florence Pugh, you've got Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, Wyatt Russell, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Everyone's in this movie. I'm saying everyone is in, like, all of the side characters from other movies.
Yeah, because Marvel has this historical problem of killing off any of their villains that could ever become an anti-hero.
It's hard to do a villain team when you've killed all of your villains.
Yeah, so it's mostly made up of people who have already had redemption arcs.
You know who would have been fucking great in this movie?
Who?
Michael B. Jordan. His character from Black Panther 1
would have been rad.
Oh, Killmonger in this team would have absolutely killed it.
Justin Hammer would have been great as like an Iron Man alternative.
Yes, very good. Yes, just the problem is you kill enough of them, you have nobody left. So we just kind of have this team. Now, that's not to say this team isn't very good. Some fun characters in there. But this is the trailer that kind of, I think, stepped it up slightly in that it gave us our first view of maybe the villain as well. Shaun, who, if you would like to talk about your favourite Marvel character, who is definitely the villain of this movie.
Yeah, so in the teaser trailer and a bit in this, we see the Sentry, Robert Reynolds, who has the power of 10 million exploding suns and is basically...
We don't know what that is in terms of, like, he's strong.
Real big strong boy.
Like, if you were in the gym and you said, that lad has the strength of 100 burning suns.
You'd be like, that's pretty strong. So imagine 10 million. And he's very interesting in comics because he was created as, like, a superhero who was forgotten both in comics and in the real world, because for as good and as powerful as the Sentry is, there's a bad and powerful version called the Void, and they're both like linked, and they both live in Robert Reynolds' body basically. So once people remember the Sentry, the Void comes back as well, and the Void can destroy the universe quite easily.
The whole point is, like, the Sentry's the most powerful hero, but then alternatively he's also the most powerful villain. So if you bring the Sentry in, you also then get the most powerful villain, so you got to get rid of both of them. I
just want them to redo, like, Forrest Gump him into various scenes in the MCU that have taken place. And he was here the whole time. Lean into that, please.
I am Iron Man. And he's just, like, standing behind Tony Stark as he says, clapping.
He's got, like, his hand on his head, like, oh my god, he's really doing it.
The big Avengers twirl from, like, Avengers 1. He's like,
I want him in that.
He's running away.
I want him floating above everyone or some shit, you know?
He just gets to New York just at the end. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, lads.
He's out of breath. I shouldn't have stopped for that haircut. We do get a look at what is presumably the Void in this, and his power mainly appears to be turning people into shadows.
I'll be honest with you, this is a problem that I have with this trailer. Now, I'm not going to say it's a problem, but this is one of those things, it's a classic movie thing, where you got to introduce the villain.
Yeah.
And when you introduce the villain, you got to make them look badass and like a real powerful villain, because then it makes our heroes look cool. The issue is, if this lad can turn people into shadows, it does raise the question, as with most of these scenarios, when the villains come up to him later on, they're like, here lad, you need to stop blowing shit up, that's real bad.
Yeah.
Why does he not just turn all of them into shadows and then move on with his life?
Well, this is the thing, and they kind of hang a lantern on it in the trailer, in that I think Black Widow says, oh, so what, we can all punch and shoot quite well? Like that is the extent of that team, basically.
Yeah. There's no real difference between them.
No, like Ghost, I think, is the only one with powers. Like, she can slip and change her density.
And we're going to see a lot of Taskmaster, I assume, in this as well.
Oh, the Taskmaster has become the Slipknot of the MCU.
If anyone remembers Slipknot from Suicide Squad 2016, he ran that movie. He was really all did. Over the promotion.
My question is does Taskmaster get killed because she like goes off book and Val presses the button and her head explodes? Or is she killed to artificially inflate the stakes for the rest of the Thunderbolts?
I suppose I think the second one is also part of the first answer. But I would say...
I guess, yeah.
I
would say... by the Sentry for, the Void.
Yeah, okay. I think the Void kills her.
Yeah.
I think they maybe have a fist fight of some sort, and she memorises something to use like the powers that she has, which is Taskmaster can memorise any certain fighting styles or whatever.
Because it's downloaded onto a chip and put into her brain. Let's not forget that.
Don't think about it too hard.
Just
right?
have her be able to do it.
she memorises it and she gets a punch off, and then the Void is like, hang on, none of this, you're a shadow now. You're going to go into the ground.
I can see that happening. I can also see her trying to copy the Sentry / the Void and her brain melting or something like that.
Okay, I like that. I could see that. Also, I mean, they could just do the classic Suicide Squad thing of her. She just gets blown up because she's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. The Slipknot role, as we call it.
Of course. God, they massacred Taskmaster so bad.
We covered Taskmaster in several Heroes Zeros, and you love Taskmaster.
He's fucking rad, and you fight him in the Spider-Man PS4 game, and he's really cool because you can't. It's the Mr. Freeze fight. You can't use the same combos. So
are you saying the Taskmaster's bad here because she's a woman?
No, Connor. No, I'm all down for Taskmaster being a woman. Look, Connor. My issue.
I think that's what you were saying.
My issue is I think if we go back and listen to that Black Widow report, I think I was a little easy on him because I didn't want to say it was bad because of women, but it's bad because of bad writing. If she's just able to do it, then it's fine. But
it doesn't matter who the fuck is playing Taskmaster. No. Like, Taskmaster should just have a mask on and should just be a fucking badass either way.
Taskmaster, you should not know who Taskmaster is. They're a fucking mercenary. Like,
Taskmaster's whole thing is they just memorise everything. So they just memorise. So they're in the middle of a fight and they're just learning fighting styles as they're going, and then they can just counteract that.
I don't see how it's harder to do that than it is to. There's this special cable where we've got all of the angles from all of the CCTV cameras from every Avenger ever fighting, and we download that into her head every so often, and then she can just. And
do you think there's going to be a scene where like there's a wire plugging her into a USB, and then like the Void just comes along and just kicks the wire out? She's like, oh no,
you didn't safely disconnect it.
You didn't right click. Oh fuck.
I think they're going the angle of, hey, we've all done bad things and we're kind of reformed now, which I think is why Bucky is like the leader. Also, Bucky's in Congress now as well.
Yeah, Bucky's in I mean, look, the main thing here is, right, they've got Florence Pugh.
Yeah,
and
who's carrying this trailer. They're
going to carry her. Her and Sebastian Stan are going to carry this movie. Now, David Harbour obviously is a very good actor himself. Red Guardian, as a character, can run quite thin the more you use him, so he's used sparingly, he's quite good. But you have Florence Pugh, you have Sebastian Stan. They're going to rely on them heavily. Who I do love is John Walker in this, so Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell is perfectly cast as John Walker.
And you know what? Like, Wyatt Russell got a lot of shit for his first appearance in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, but like, I love that character. Like, I think he's such a shithouse that it's funny. Like, it's just really entertaining to me to watch this guy who just got given this and he's like, oh, I'm actually not very good.
Yeah, and he has to come to terms with the fact that he's not a superhuman.
Yeah. There's a weird thing where they probably should use some of that with Anthony Mackie's character as well. Like, they should kind of like blend the two storylines together in a weird way. Yeah,
like I've not seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It came out like yesterday in Ireland, I think.
No, it came out in the 14th, so Valentine's Day.
Friday. So yeah, there was no way I was talking anyone into, hey, you want to go watch Falcon?
You know what we should
Me and you should have.
Me and you should have went. Would have been so funny. Just like, do you have any plans? Actually, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm busy.
It's a surprise. I'm not going to tell you, but you're not invited.
I just send her a photo of us in front of the poster.
Big bucket of popcorn. Wish you were here.
Big heart between us. It's going to be great.
I think this looks fun. The vibe I got from this, and look, I don't want to... And I keep saying Suicide Squad 2016, but I got it from the Bohemian Rhapsody Suicide Squad 2016 trailer. Now, obviously, a lot has been said about that trailer and the actual movie. Much different. But it's like a weird vibe of like, oh, this could be fun, I suppose.
Yeah, like I could see it working. It does look like the final fight takes place on one street.
They only had the street.
They only had the street, like under the bridge. They're Deadpooling this. But it looks coherent, I guess. Does that make sense?
Look, it doesn't have to be absolutely amazing. It's not. This movie's not going to save the MCU or kill the MCU. It's just a movie that could be quite fun and good, because that's kind of any of these teams where you have like a lot of anti-heroes, like they're never going to be the leading team. That's the whole point. These are all just like the side characters that like you kind of get thrown in together, and they're better than the sum of their parts, like just a collective, and it can be quite fun. It's not gonna like move mountains, but I also think you could have like a really good 7 or 8 out of 10 movie where it's like, oh, this is a great crack. Like this is like Guardians of the Galaxy, pretty good but less hard. Yeah,
like this does not need to be the perfect film by any means. I would like it to be good. I also I don't like the Thunderbolts asterisk thing. I don't know what they're doing with that. Like that's going to be some reveal, and it's going to change title at the end of the movie to like Dark Avengers or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's even mentioned as this trailer was like, we're not calling ourselves the Thunderbolts, guys.
So like, look, I hope it's good. It looks fun, is what I have. It looks like a bit of a romp, and sometimes a movie can just be a bit of crack. It's not the worst thing in the world. Really good cast, like really strong. They must have been delighted when like you have Sebastian Stan now has been nominated for the Oscar as well this year. So now we've got like a few Academy Award nominees. Obviously I know the Oscars are all bullshit, but it still looks good on a poster. Damn that.
It sells a DVD maybe.
It sells a few things. So I hope it's good. I'm interested to know what to do with the Sentry and the Void. How they get around that.
That's what I'm most hyped to see, is just how they translate that.
And do they do like the amnesia thing? Did everyone forget it, or is it just he showed up?
Or he's shown up, or he's made in the lab or some shit. I can see that.
I think they might do lab.
Yeah, there is a version of him that was like he was looking for a fix and he just drank something he found in a lab, and then they studied. I love
it. I drank something out of a beaker and turned into a superhero.
Of course, that's going to work well for you that one time.
Especially if it's like a doctor who's like, well, I can't test it on anybody else. I gotta drink this.
Yeah, they'll never believe me. They won't let me go to human trials.
Okay, we are going to move on from that trailer, Shaun, to our next piece of news, and this is Harry Potter. And it's fine. There's a Harry Potter series coming out, but Shaun, this rumour really caught my eye, and that is the fact that one of our own, Cillian Murphy, is rumoured to be taking part in the new Harry Potter upcoming series.
Cillian,
he is not going to be Voldemort, but he is going to be a villain in the movie. So he's going to be Professor Quirinius Quirrell in the Harry Potter show. They're going to bring Cillian Murphy in to be the villain in this show. I mean, pretty big get if they can pull this fucking thing off.
Pretty big get, alright. Quirrell is the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher with Voldemort in the back of his head. Spoilers.
Oh no.
Sorry about that, man. Right off rip, fuck J.K. Rowling, first of all.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know, man. I'm fascinated by it, because any casting rumour or announcement I've seen for this Harry Potter series is a fully grown actor, you know?
John Lithgow is in final negotiations to play Albus Dumbledore.
A great pick for the character. But what's really gonna fuck this series is the way TV shows are made now. Because you hire a kid at 11 to play Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And then you get 6 episodes of a season or whatever. That comes out. Then you have to wait 2 to 3 years for the next season. And then the kid is 14 playing a 12-year-old, which is fine until he's then 17 playing a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And then people are going to lose interest, and then it stops making money, and then it's just finished off, and it's like...
And then the kid gets absolutely annihilated in the reviews.
Yeah, and I wish all of these children a very no social media presence for the rest of their lives.
I think we've mentioned it every single time this series has come up, but we're just like, please stay away if it's your child.
Yeah.
They will make lots of money, but Jesus, is it worth it for the 5 years? Like, I suppose you'd be set for a while.
But I don't know, is this even a career maker anymore? Do you know?
I think they're going to get annihilated, first and foremost. Just like, the internet's not a nice place.
No.
And it's a much different time. Like, when last time we seen Querelle was 2001, Philosopher's Stone. Like, that's different lifetime ago. That, like, you had Daniel Radcliffe and all them. Like, they were just not very good actors in those first few movies. But also, they were 11.
They were actual children, yeah.
They were literal children. Like, and they had Columbus was directing it. He's very good with them. And you can see actually they get better as the movies go on. But like, if that first movie comes out now, I think it gets like pretty... it doesn't get killed, but like, there's probably maybe some meaner things said about them.
100%, but no one talks about like those Harry Potter movies. One, it's a miracle they got made. And two, it's a miracle they all got made. And then it's a miracle they stuck the landing as well as they did.
Yeah.
Like, nothing should have worked about those.
It's a miracle. As in, like, it's just a flat out 8 movies, and everyone's like, oh yeah, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's like, some that are like excellent, and some are, they're pretty good.
And most of the cast is like well adjusted. Like,
yeah.
It's insane.
What the fuck? It makes no sense.
I just don't think it happens now. And I think it's going to be like politicised, every decision that is made in this show.
Yeah, well, obviously, like, your one is a cunt, so you have to factor that in.
J.K. Rowling is an absolute walking pile of shite.
So that's why actually I'm more annoyed by Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
I'm like, let all the American lads, Cillian, come on, please.
Here's my thing.
Come over.
Is this confirmed or is it just a rumour?
It's rumoured.
Right.
It's not confirmed, but it's rumoured that he is being brought in. They're heavily... implying that they're very interested in him. Maybe his agents are also very interested. You know, the whole usual Hollywood bullshit where everyone's like, oh, I'm interested and he's interested, we're all fucking here.
But he doesn't need the money.
I mean, yeah, like, you know, like you're Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
It's fine, just do 28 Days Later again. Be fine.
You did Oppenheimer last year.
You're doing Peaky Blinders movie or something.
I think so. I don't really know. You have Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso. He's like to play Hagrid as well.
That's pretty good. It's going to be. It's not going to look as good as Robbie Coltrane did, though.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be brought in to play Petunia Dursley. So you have,
I guess, yeah.
I mean, it's just like really big names are being. Rachel Weisz they're looking at her for McGonagall.
Oh, that's an odd one.
Yeah, like Mark Strong is also in contention for Albus Dumbledore. So like, really massive. They're fucking pushing this. Cillian Murphy would be the biggest name out of all of them, I think, in terms of if you could get him to do a series.
Yeah, and it would only be one season, I guess, you'd need him for. Because I'll be honest, it doesn't end well for Quirrell in the books or the film.
What? Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm a big Quirrell head.
Harry lays hands on him or something and he melts.
Harry throws hands with him or lays hands with him?
A bit of both, really.
I think he's like 11, but he has a good uppercut. Like, he decks him one
scrappy,
set.
you know.
He's a scrappy kind of guy. I think this show is... I mean, it might be good, and it might have very good talented people in it, but I'm also... I'm wary of it in a weird way.
Yeah, just watch the Percy Jackson show instead. That's real good.
Yeah, or just watch the movies. They're on. They already did them really well. Yeah. Just go watch them.
Read a book, but buy it used so she doesn't get any money from it.
No, don't read don't read her new books. Because, so we're going to move on, Shaun, to our next piece of news, and this is This is more just a discussion because
am I in trouble?
Clayface, the Clayface movie, is something that is very close to our hearts. And latest reports is that DC Studios is beginning to hear pitches from potential directors for the upcoming Clayface movie. And they're hearing quite a few pitches from different people. So you have Jeff Wadlow has come in to do a pitch. So he's best known for Truth or Dare. He also directed Kick-Ass 2. Okay. So then you also have James Watkins has come in. He's done a few horror movies, Speak No Evil remakes. And so you have like more horror-based directors pitching for the Clayface movie.
Todd Phillips isn't doing a pitch, is that what you're telling me?
Todd has not come forward yet because I don't think there's a De Niro movie can use.
Fair, absolutely.
He's doing
fine.
Meet the Fockers. Clayface.
I like the idea of getting, if you're doing horror, do horror, you know? Now, would I like Guillermo del Toro to do this? Absolutely.
You know what? I was kind of thinking that when I was reading. I was like, look, if you're looking for some weird fucking body horror bullshit, Guillermo del Toro is the kind of man. He loves DC. He loves all that shit. Like, he was really interested in doing the Justice League Dark movie a few years ago, which is like, he loves weirdos. And I think he'd do really good at a Clayface movie.
I think so, and he would have the designs and the practicality of it and everything like that. Because I think from what I was seeing, it's like, it's not following Batman fighting Clayface. It's a story about Clayface.
Which, as an idea, I'm not too fond of. I don't really care for villain origin story movies.
No, but he works as a good foil to Batman specifically because he's literally wearing a mask, you know?
Yeah, and he could be anybody.
Yes. I was trying to get the lady's name. Coralie Fargiat, who directed The Substance. That would be an amazing pick for this. Now,
I mean, same kind of technology.
Her inbox is fucking blowing up right now.
Yes.
And she's
absolutely.
Probably pretty busy. But maybe if you want to do this dumb fucking comic book movie.
If you want to do a fucking Clayface movie. I just think, like, the Clayface idea itself as a movie, as I said, I'm not too fond of it just because I like when we see a villain fighting a hero. But, like, Clayface as... I actually think Clayface is more interesting because he is sympathetic, but when he's in the wrong. Whereas if you do a movie where he just has a really sad life, like, most of the time. So, like, if you just do an origin story, I assume it's just going to be really sad and then, like, horror of, like, oh man, unless you do the thing of, like, the aging actor who uses the cream to constantly de-age. So you're just kind of doing The Substance again, but just he turns into a big Clayface monster.
Do you think this is off the back of The Substance that they're leaning into?
Yes, it is. 100%. Because it's just literally the same plot.
Yeah, I like the aging actor. I also like big fucking clay monster. But I like both versions. I think
there's been like 7 Clayfaces, so you can use any of them that you want. There's like a Clayface family if you want to use that. Like, they're never going to touch any of that stuff because that's really in the weeds. I think the easiest thing is literally the Substance plotline of aging actor given cream to de-age himself and then becomes addicted to it. And then he becomes slowly, like, morphed into the fucking weird blob.
It really is just a Substance, isn't it?
It's the exact same plot, yeah.
Well, I'm sure it was a very successful film. I'm sure they want to do it again.
That's all DC. All DC would just do the same movie again and be like, it'll be fine. Nobody will know us.
The idea of slapping a new coat of paint on top of The Substance, though, that's a fun little concept. You
just do it from the lad's perspective instead of the woman perspective, I suppose.
Connor. Sorry. When's the last time a film was made for the lads, you know?
It's true. Now that I think about it, I can't think of any movie that stars a man.
No. Do you know, it's reverse sexism is what it is.
Fucking hell. The more I've thought about this and the more we've talked about it, as I'm like, dude, it's just going to be The Substance again. You're just doing the same movie.
Yeah. But like, it's just a sad man this time.
It's just a sad man slowly becoming a monster that's made of clay.
The question is, who do you cast as a failed actor?
Alan Tudyk was the guy that has been rumoured because he voices Clayface already.
Very silly Clayface, though, in the
He's a very silly Clayface, but James Gunn did come out and say like he'd like to bring Alan Tudyk in to do a live action movie role.
I'm sure it'd be good, yeah. And I'm nothing against the man. He's very successful. He's more money than I'll ever have. He could believably play a down-on-his-luck actor. Is that all right to say about someone?
I know. I think he's just a good actor. He could play a down-on-the-luck actor because he's such a good actor.
Good, nice.
You're not saying he looks like a loser, Shaun, because that would be mean.
No, and I would never say that about Alan.
Big Al, as we call him. Big Al the loser, as you call him off mic.
No, not off mic. Do you remember Big Al's Burgers back in the day?
Big Al, vaguely. I vaguely remember that.
They were frozen burgers, and their entire marketing campaign was, look how fucking massive these are.
And they're completely frozen.
Completely frozen, and it's mostly water, so the second you cook them, they shrink down a lot.
Of course they do.
But when they're frozen, they look real big.
This is a big block of ice. It's like massive.
Wow, this is huge.
This burger's gigantic. So look, I wanted to bring that up about the Clayface movie just because I'm interested to know what they do with it, but also I think it might just be the same movie as The Substance, so we'll see what happens.
I'll watch The Substance again, that's fine.
Yeah, so look, let's just watch it again, a worse version.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and you love Paddington Bear.
Big fan. Big fan of
Paddington. And
he's polite.
I'm a bit weird. Not a big fan of him walking away with dead people into the distance and all that shit.
I kind of like him
that.
being the harbinger of
the Grim Reaper.
I like Grim Reaper Paddington. Yeah. I don't like how pro monarchy he is, but what can you do? He's a bear.
Yeah, look, we're never going to approve of that. But
no.
like, I'm with him in the marmalade. I'll give him that. Like,
my man likes a snack, you know?
Yeah, like, but Paddington 4, Shaun, is on the way, apparently. Plus a TV series and a stage musical, according to the studio head.
We're reaching dangerous levels of Paddington oversaturation here.
I don't think so, Shaun. I think we need to do a 4th movie, 5th movie, maybe a 6th movie, do a play, do a musical, TV series. I want to know the origin, even though we've already seen it. Let's do it again.
But the thing, like, I wasn't sure about Paddington 3, Paddington in Peru, to give it its full title.
Yes.
Because 1 and 2 are fantastic.
Well, 1 and 2 are pretty flawless, as movies go.
And 3 is good. It's a good, fun time film. And it's kind and it has nice lessons in it. Yeah. But it is the worst of the 3, I would say.
I do get a whiff of Toy Story 4 off Paddington 3.
There's a whiff of this didn't need to happen at all.
Yeah. And so if you're already at that, the 3rd one, what about, also it's plural, so when they said movies, so this is 4, 5, 6, this is going ahead. I
think they're going to lose the heart. As soon as you start churning these out, you know, you have to compromise somewhere.
So the interesting question I have for you, as one of the biggest Paddington fans I know, is how many movies will it take for you to then the next one to come out and you go, I'm not that interested in watching it?
Do you know, I think I'm there right now.
Oh, right.
Because Paddington, like, have you seen Paddington in Peru?
I have not seen in Peru. Well, I've seen the first 2 and I've never seen in Peru.
Like, he's getting into more and more ludicrous scrapes all the time. They're fast and furiousing Paddington Bear.
Is he going to space by the 5th one?
That's the only thing I can think of, is that he's the first bear on the moon or some shit. Which, now that I say it out loud, yeah, I would watch that. That's
fucking I would. Him and Laika the space dog going up in a spaceship.
Rest in peace. Ireland's Eurovision entry, all about Laika.
Oh my god, has anyone seen the Eurovision entry for Ireland? It's all about Laika the space dog.
It's great, it's made for me.
If this is any American listeners or anybody in the world who doesn't know what the Eurovision is, it's a song contest that they hold for all of Europe every year, and it's notoriously not great, but it's funny to watch. And the thing is, Ireland, we used to be good in like the 90s and the 80s.
We had like 3 in a row, we were killing it.
Yeah, we were killed. And then there's a whole episode of Father Ted about how we ran out of money and then we just started sending shit people because we couldn't afford to host it anymore. And so we've been sending really bad people for about 25 years and we always get knocked out. And last year we did quite well. But this year we're sending a song about Laika the space dog. And you think I'm joking, but that's the song.
That's the song. That's what everyone picked as well. It was voted on.
Because once they put it to the Irish vote, the Irish people will always vote for the most shithouse option. That's just rule one.
We don't want to win. We don't care.
Yeah, it's because if the judges pick, they would pick a good song. Whereas every time they do it on like the national TV, they're like, these are the 7 options. The worst option always wins the vote once it goes to the Irish people, because not the worst option, but the most non by the numbers option will always win, because Irish people will just watch and be like, this'll be a laugh. It'll be some crack if we send this stuff.
We fully sent a puppet of a turkey, which is, and the turkey is like, it's an inside joke from like 80s, 90s Irish TV. And it's this like Dublin-based turkey.
There was like full-on singing and dance numbers, and then we sent out a fucking puppet. We sent out like our version of Kermit the Frog.
Pretty much, and he was in an upturned shopping trolley. Just singing in the thickest fake Dublin accent you can imagine.
So if you haven't listened to the new Laika song that's going to represent us in the Eurovision, I would recommend that. It's powerful.
Yeah, I don't know will I watch Eurovision.
Shaun, come on now.
Connor.
The game that you do is it's obviously a terrible watch, but still, like, the game that you play is that before it starts, there's like 25 countries or whatever you get through. You have to pick a number between 1 and 25. You don't get to see what country that is, and you have to support them no matter what. That's fair. The rule.
We've done it drawn from a hat before.
You pull a name, and no matter how terrible it is, and you probably haven't seen the Latvian entry, so at that point it's all a surprise. So
we did have to stop one year because someone drew Israel and was like, I'm not cheering.
Everyone was like, oh god, what?
Maybe we checked that one out.
I mean, like,
you can share Bosnia Herzegovina with me.
Australia are also in it. It's very confusing.
Australia do alright. They put on a show.
They do they buy into the bit. Yeah, is what I would say.
Remember that time the UK got 0 votes?
Is that not every year?
Oh, it's fine. Yum num num num.
We always get like 1. They always get 0.
But now we're sound, so people are like...
Yeah, so, Shaun, we're going to finish off movie news this week with a report that really caught my eye, and it's about Captain America Brave New World.
Oh, that movie that everyone loves.
It's a movie that everyone loves. Now, a report has come out, a shocking report, that came out at the end of last week, that is from an insider who worked on it. It's a technical crew member, and has supposedly been a part of several MCU projects in recent years. And they have said that there was difficult, frustrating reshoots, a difficult Harrison Ford, and much more involved in the movie.
A difficult Harrison Ford, but he seems so nice in interviews.
So the exact quote was, I worked on the reshoots. I think everyone in the crew knew this is probably not going to be a good film. Oh no. We had a lot of frustrations on set. After principal photography was finished, it was like, we're going to introduce the leader of the Serpent Society. It was on, and then it was off, then it was on again. That's very expensive to do. And they said it's a really rough production. When the studio had its test in front of an audience, it didn't respond. So then they were divided on what they were going to do. And so then they changed everything last minute to move it around. Harrison Ford was one of the crankiest performers I've ever dealt with. I mean,
man's fucking 80 as well. And
also, it's Harrison Ford. If he's cranky, is that not that's just him?
But he probably thought he was coming on for like 4 weeks of filming, and then it was reshot over and over again for 2 years.
Yeah, like they had to put the motion capture dots on him as well.
I can't imagine.
Imagine being the crew member that they walk up to Harrison Ford and be like, "You have to go in for your 2 hours of dot makeup, Harrison."
And he's just, and the whole time people are just like, so what was it like being Han Solo? Did he really shoot first?
Reshoots are a part of making any movie like this with a big budget, but this isn't Marvel's first rodeo. Entire sequences we shot won't make it into the film, and that's really expensive. I'm not going to say the director was not equipped to handle that production. Basically, dealing with A-list egos was the issue. Which was a little disappointing. At the end of the day, it was the most tense Marvel shoot I've ever worked on. So that is some of the reports that are coming out. Obviously, grain of salt. Might also just be somebody who didn't do too well on the production. Could also happen that you just start talking shit. But does kind of follow up on a lot of the things that were rumoured in the production of this movie.
Yeah, I feel like this is... We all kind of knew that was going on in the background. That studio execs and higher-ups interfering and changing things. And it's just making everyone who's actually working there day to day, it's making their lives so much more difficult. And I think it's probably good that stuff gets talked about, because that's how it changes. Like, I don't know, it feels like we're on like the edge of, hey, maybe this is desperation. Maybe it's about to get good again. Thunderbolts looks all right, you know?
But I think a movie being good doesn't change if the environment is not a nice place.
This is true. This is absolutely true. But I think movies with good environments generally make better movies.
I would say so. If everybody's happy and they're doing some good stuff, normally some good stuff gets produced.
Yeah. You need to basically treat people like people.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a bold strategy. But
what can I say? I'm woke.
Like doing all the reshoots, doing all this, I think it's very much just a lot of the same stuff we've heard for a lot of the Marvel movies recently. Because what happens is they do a movie and then they do a test screening and then it doesn't hit and then they shit themselves and they rewrite the whole thing and reshoot the whole thing and then they do another test screening and it doesn't kind of hit but it kind of hits and then they do reshoots and then they rewrite the whole thing and we just go over that. Now movies do that all the time, but it's quite expensive to shoot like $100 million movie and then reshoot another $75 million second movie.
Yeah, it just keeps costing money. And like Marvel for so long, every movie was making $1 billion. And it was like, this is going to last forever. And then it stopped. And then now everything has to hit. Like, you can't make a loss. Otherwise, your fucking end of year reports and stuff like that, your company is just tanking, you know?
I think, I mean, look, as I said, I haven't seen the new Captain America Brave New World. We should probably watch it this week, Shaun, if you want to talk about it a little bit next week.
Yeah.
At some stage. But, I mean, it looks grand. And I think Anthony Mackie's been put in a pretty shit position. So
yeah. I hope this isn't the end for him as Cap either.
No, I like him as Cap. I think he could be good. He could be really good. And I think Harrison Ford as a character, I also think is good. But also, if you hire Harrison Ford, I think, like, it's just... And not only if you hire Harrison Ford, but if then he comes on the set and there might be some rewrites, reshoots, we're changing the whole script from what was yesterday. Like, he's been around long enough that he's like, this is obviously a bit shit.
Yeah. Like, he is also... He knows what it's like to work on a movie set. Like, so
I assume so.
Probably has some sense of how things are going behind the scenes.
Okay, so we're going to leave the movie news there, Shaun, and that means it's time for the weird news jingle. Now, is everyone excited about weird news? Because obviously last week was Valentine's Day, Shaun. Mm-hmm. And so I decided because of that, I'm going to start weird news. So much. Because I love you so much. We went on all those dates. Because of that, I'm going to start off this week with a Valentine's-based weird news section of the show. Because I wanted to go out and find some of the worst first dates that people have gone on for Valentine's Day.
Pretty good. Okay, I like this. Let's laugh at some people.
So, I mean, around Christmas, do you remember I did the worst Christmas presents people got? So, around most of the time of year, I tried to fit it in somewhere. So, Valentine's Day is nice and easy. Might just not be a first date. It might be whatever date it is, but the worst dates people have gone on. on Valentine's Day. Shaun, have you ever gone on a bad date on Valentine's Day?
Went to see the Lego movie.
Hang on, okay, right, that's so far so good.
Poor pick, because we were surrounded by children the entire time.
What were you planning on fucking doing?
Nothing at all. But they were ruining my experience of the film, Conor.
Oh, right, sorry. By the way, this is weird news. What do we do here?
You spent the week gathering all the weirdest news stories from around the world. You're about to read them all out to me, a man who has gone on terrible dates instead of looking at any weird news.
This is he's a womanizer. You know what I mean?
What?
So,
no, I love my fiancé.
So, Shaun, we're going to start this week and we're going to go to Christine, who wrote in and said, my date and I were at a disco when a woman dancing nearby was spun by her partner. The quarter-sized plastic beads affixed to her long ponytail whipped my date in the face, and then it popped his glass eye out.
Oh,
he quickly
dear.
pulled an eye patch from his pocket and chased his eye across the dance floor. It was our first date. Hey,
the man is prepared, you know? Like, he had the eye patch ready to go.
You go on a date and you're like, is that there's something off. I'm not quite sure what it is. There's something, and then the glass eye just goes flying. Like, all I can think of is Pirates of the Caribbean at that point.
Yeah, and he's rolling around, and it's part of the 9 pieces of 8 used to release Calypso. We all know, Conor. We all know.
We all remembered well. I realised that the Valentine's Day cards I had been receiving from my secret admirer for years were from my parents.
Damn, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt.
That's rough. That's rough.
One of those things where, in theory, that's a nice thing to do, and it might build up. Though. But yeah, it's fucked up. Might build the kid's confidence a little bit, but I think you send one of them.
If you had a child, would you send them any anonymous cards if they weren't getting any?
No, I would tell them to try harder.
I was the same. I was like, bro, if you don't got the sauce.
Yeah, but like. I was like, who's sending a Valentine's card as a kid?
Not anymore. It's not really a thing.
Did you do that as a kid growing up?
No. Well, we're saying this is 2 men who definitely received no cards.
Hey. That's neither here nor there.
Too close to the bone.
Yeah, Valentine's is shit.
Stupid fucking holiday, I don't even like it. This one really was mental. He gave me a card with a condom inside that said he said he wanted to taste my sweat. I was only 17, we met in our school's purity club. So
Jesus.
That guy straight for the jugular in the
fucking shoot, man. Like
he joined the purity club solely because he had that card with a condom in it.
The move is you staple the condom in, because then it's funny.
Yes, of course. Then perfect.
Also,
but the tasting of the sweat, that's a bold strategy.
That's a niche request for a member of the purity club, but you know. You'll try anything.
Is it outright sexual? Does he just like the taste? Is he thirsty? These are all the questions.
These are all fine questions. Do you want me to Google it? Will we see?
No, for God's sake.
What? No?
Why is it your homepage?
Let me use the work laptop.
My dad had a health scare suddenly on Valentine's Day, and we spent the day in the ER with a naked guy handcuffed to a gurney in the hallway outside the room my dad was moved into.
So the date went...
So her dad has a health scare, gets moved into the ER, they move him into a room, and they're sitting on the seats outside the room, and there's a naked guy handcuffed to a gurney across the hallway, just staring at them.
Well, I mean, it's not the ideal Valentine's, but... You know who was in prison on Valentine? Saint Valentine was imprisoned.
Here we go. But what's the deal with Saint Valentine? You have a dig with saints. Go on.
The story is he was keeping in touch with some lady, and he would sign all of his letters with "Your Valentine," and that's
I want to drink your sweat.
He did write that, and he stapled in some condoms as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But he would just kept writing, and I think he died in prison, but he became a saint after for some reason.
Fuck. Okay. That's fair enough. They're looking for the day that's in it, Shaun. Now's the time.
It's my one fact. Wait till St. Blaise's Day.
Oh, for fuck's sake. My parents agreed to let me go on my first date at the age of 16. Dennis arrived on time, but before he could make it to the front door, my dad intercepted him. I watched from the porch as Dennis helped unload drywall panels from my dad's truck for nearly an hour. So my dad was just testing him. So strong move from
Fair
the dad.
play for
there.
Dennis. He unloaded him, you know?
I think if you're that age and you're like 16 or 17, I think you just do it. Just don't even think about it.
Yeah, oh yeah. And like, if you get to chat to the dad and stuff like that, absolutely fine.
Yeah. We met at a cafe where I ordered a herbal iced tea. He ordered the same. Then we caught a movie where I ordered water and popcorn with light butter. He ordered the same. At dinner, I ordered the strangest meal I could think of, wondering if he would copy me. A lemon meringue pie and hot cocoa. Sure enough, my date got the same. There was no second date, but I do wonder where Echo Man is these days, and if he still mimics his companions.
That feels like he read it in a book or something, you know?
Mirror behaviour.
Mirror behaviour, and people are more likely to like you if you like the same stuff they like.
A bold strategy if you hear the date go, can I have a lemon meringue pie and hot cocoa, and then go, yeah, same, thanks very much.
I don't think that's weird as an order. You know?
But if you go for dinner and then someone's like, oh, can I have a meringue pie and a hot cocoa?
But that wasn't the entire dinner. There must have been more dinner before that.
No, at dinner I ordered the strangest meal I could think of.
But surely you'll get a starter, a little flatbread maybe.
Not if they had just gone from the cinema, they had some popcorn. You know what I mean?
True.
So maybe they weren't completely starving.
But then I think it's fine to order just a dessert, and I don't think that's a weird dessert to order.
So you're saying you actually hate women. That's what you're saying. She's
Connor, I'm saying I love cake. All right.
Cake above all. So my date picked me up and took me to a play in which he was performing. A lovely first date. I was taking aspirin that made me drowsy at the time, and when I went to the restroom during the first act, I fell asleep in the bathroom.
Damn.
I woke up when the other theatre goers came in at the end. I hustled to meet my date backstage as quickly as my numb legs could carry me. He asked me how I liked his performance. I told him he was wonderful. So, I mean, it just says, Ronnie, if you're reading this, I'm sure the play was awesome.
Yeah, but that's like... That wasn't malicious, you know?
No.
Be worse if you fell asleep in the seats.
Oh, yeah, that's a risky business. Yeah, get out of there. Go sleep in the toilet so he can't see you, having a snore.
You ever fall asleep in public?
Have I ever fallen asleep in public?
Yeah.
Does a train count as public?
It doesn't. I don't think... No, it's not weird. I would never do it myself.
You never fall asleep on a train?
Can't fall asleep on a train or a plane. Not able
Oh,
for.
man. I'd fall asleep on a train or a plane, but like, only hood up, hands in the pockets, just like, look kind of homeless.
Yeah. You're fully like, don't interact with me at all.
Don't interact with me. Yeah. You have to kind of give that guard. You can't fall asleep fully down, like the fence is down. I can't do that. No. You gotta hood up and have like a podcast in.
You'll do a head against the window, maybe? No,
I'm not a maniac. You're batting the head off the glass.
Some people like the rhythm, you know?
No, I can't. No, I'm not having that either. Not even on a plane.
No, flight to Japan, 14 hours, stayed awake the whole time.
What is wrong with you?
I was like a cunt getting off that plane.
I'd say you were.
I was miserable. I was awake for 26 hours straight.
What'd you do for 14 hours?
They had all of the Lord of the Rings
just on a loop
screen. So that was 12 hours locked in, you know.
Easy. So. That's an easy one. And we're finishing off this week, Shaun, with he was a veterinarian who went to church with me. When we got back to my place, my neighbour was waiting. He said, Doc, my cow is in labour. I tagged along to the bar next door, and my date was wearing a 3-piece suit. And there, under the car beams that we pointed into the barn for light, I watched him strip to his underwear to protect his nice clothes and deliver a calf that day.
He was nearly so cool. Keep the suit on.
Keep the suit on, just roll up the sleeves.
Yeah, you jack it off, leave the waistcoat, roll up the sleeves. Yeah. You're the coolest motherfucker who ever lived.
Like, I think marriage is next, I think at that point.
Like, instantly. Like, don't strip down to your under. Or if you have the goods, go shirtless.
Maybe he was like, this is actually cooler.
Yeah. Now, if he takes the underwear off, it automatically becomes weirder.
Then you're like, what's he doing with that cow?
Yeah, what's going on here? I mean, I'm not a trained vet. I can't say.
Why is this cow half human? So I wanted to cover all the dates for Valentine's Day, but I also wanted to cover one more thing because of the weekend that's in it, Shaun. It's a very romantic time. It's a time for love. But what it's also time for is talking about possibly the maddest scene I've ever seen in any reality show. You know what I'm talking about.
I see this.
It's from a Spanish reality show called Temptation Island.
Is this the kind of news we're covering now?
We're covering Montoya because it's mental. Shaun, if anyone hasn't seen Temptation Island, it's one of those shit reality shows where they get a load of people and they put them in a different place and they're like, oh, all these people want to have sex with you. Here's the camera. Off you go.
Enjoy. Enjoy. You couldn't pay me to go on any of those shows, by the way.
No, well, obviously not. But Montoya is the man that I just think is so funny, because if you haven't seen the clip, and it's gone pretty viral, is Jose Carlos Montoya. He has given a live feed to his girlfriend, who is in the other villa, who is being tempted by some of the lads there.
Fucking more than tempted from what I saw.
Fucking exhausted, so she is. But she's being tempted by some of the lads over there. He's watching on a live feed to see, if the affair happens. And then he realises, oh, it's happening big time. And then Jose Carlos Montoya has, I think, just one of the best reactions I've ever seen.
It's like all-time greatest television crash-outs is what we're watching.
He literally does one of those things where he grabs his shirt and rips it open with all the buttons.
I've never been as angry or as pained to pull that move. How does your brain go there? Oh, the shirt has to go first of all.
When you're seeing something terrible, your first stop is take off my shirt. That'll help me think.
I can't handle it dressed like this.
So he sees on the screen that she's in bed with another lad, and he's not happy. Immediately screams into the air and rips his shirt open, and then begins sprinting down the beach towards the villa in a Forrest Gump style sprint. And never has romance been more in the air, Shaun. I was like, for the week that's in it. I mean,
did he have the intent on killing the man? Or
what is the intent at that point? I mean, the presenter, by the way, the presenter just keeps shouting at him, Montoya, por favor, please.
But also, right? They met 2 weeks ago, probably.
Yeah,
they met on the show.
No, him and the girlfriend, I think, come into the show.
Oh wait, they're really together.
So the whole point of the show is you have a partner, and then for some reason the two of you need a brain fucking scan, and you agree to go into this show, and they put the lad on one place and the woman in the other place, and then they surround you with a load of people that you might be interested in.
That's fucked.
And then it's will you cheat on your partner?
What a shit game.
Terrible game, but makes Montoya that bit when he's on screen, and they just have a TV showing him.
But they give him an iPad, and he fucks the iPad away because he doesn't want to watch it, and then they put it on the TV that he can't break.
Because he breaks the iPad because he sees her up to no good, and then they wheel in a fucking a school TV back in the old days onto the beach, and they're like, now you can't break this, watch your girlfriend having sex with some lad. And
it's fully this show has gotten very uncouth in recent months. They're fully having sex,
Oh, yeah, but I just genuinely wanted to come. I think Montoya might be the funniest person. It's so good.
It's so dramatic. I want to know what was in his head when he was sprinting towards that villa.
Yeah, what's he gonna do? All I kept thinking was psychologically, what's he gonna do?
Yeah. Or I just in my head, he's running and running and running. He stops briefly. He picks up a brick and he starts running again.
But at this point, he needs another shirt to rip. He's got so much emotion. He just needs to rip another shirt. So
he runs to a store and he goes to the clothing line.
Just keeps ripping them all. I think if you haven't seen the clip, I would recommend going to watch it. I just wanted to mention that because of Valentine's Day, and nobody's having a worse Valentine's date than Montoya is.
Is he still on the show, or like is the show still going on?
I think the show is still going on, and as far as because that clip has gone viral, like if you click on it, then it shows you all the other clips. But the problem is like all of it's in Spanish, so like nobody can understand unless you speak Spanish what the fuck is going on. So there was another clip this week that was like he was then like tempted by some other woman, and the girlfriend was getting mad. It was the same. It was reversed. She was, and I was like, "Lad,
this isn't. These aren't equal, right here."
Did you not see what you did to the lad? Let him have a bit of fun. He's got no shirts left.
He's cold.
It's freezing, so he is. So, Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news. No more romance. That's the end of the romantic episode.
No more romance ever for anyone.
Ever
Montoya ruined it for everyone.
I'm cancelling all of our future dates. But Shaun, we're going to move on to seafood firm offers bounty to catch 27,000 escaped salmon off Norway. Okay.
Now, how did the salmon escape, and from whence did they come?
I'm assuming they came from the sea, Shaun.
Right, but, could be a river.
So apparently people said this is a disaster for wild salmon, as an estimated 27,000 fish have gone missing from a farm. It's the world's largest farmed salmon producer, called Maui, and has offered a reward of £36 per salmon caught after it said a quarter of its 100,000 salmon population escaped from a cage last week. So, I mean, the real question here is, Shaun, how do you catch their salmon in the sea?
How do you know that it's
One, how do you know? And two, how do you catch a salmon?
Well, with a fishing rod.
With one fishing rod and a dream.
Yeah. I've caught fish before.
True, but you're not going to catch all 27,000 of them. No,
but I could get 10. That's 360 quid.
We're laughing.
That's a weekend away with the boys.
Normally, fish farmers are only allowed to conduct recapture operations within a 500 metre zone around the facility in the event of an escape. However, based on the potential scale of this incident, Maui was instructed to extend its recapture efforts beyond the 500 metre zone to, I assume, the ocean.
Let's pretend I'm an idiot, right?
Okay.
What is the... No, take some time. Get ready.
It was very easy to get into character. I'm already there. I arrived there.
Hurtful, but all right. What is so bad about all of these salmon going into the sea?
But we want them.
You know? Like, is it just that they lose out on money?
Yes.
Okay, but it's not going to harm other fish.
I assume not.
It's pretty good for that 27,000 salmon.
I would say the bold strategy that the fish are probably in the ocean, like they probably live there.
Plenty of room in the ocean.
There are loads of it. It goes way deeper than we think.
Yeah.
It's massive.
There's monsters down there.
Apparently, actually, escaped salmon pose huge environmental problems.
Oh, damn, it was the next paragraph.
They endanger wild salmon by reducing their genetic diversity, increasing infection from sea lice, and intensifying competition for spawning grounds.
Okay, so because these salmon were bred in captivity, there's a limited gene pool, which sounds like, right, that's a problem we fucking made.
It feels like it's a human-made problem, but now we're, like, it's a consequence.
Yeah, and so... So in theory, this could be the end of edible salmon.
No, well, they still have, like, 75,000 salmons.
Yeah, but now they have an even smaller gene pool to fucking breed with.
True, technically, yes. So in Norway, apparently, Norway exports 1.2 million tonnes of farmed salmon a year.
That's a lot.
That seems like a lot of salmon. But, fish, like... Because salmon... you will run out of wild salmon, surely.
Yeah, is it better to have wild or farmed fish as, like, meat quality and stuff like that?
I mean, look, Shaun,
I'm hitting you with a lot of questions here.
How the fuck do I know? I'm going to say it's better to have wild, I assume.
It all tastes like fish.
There's probably something's added to the other ones.
Wild caught fish consume a more varied diet, and as a result they have slightly higher amounts of several vitamins and minerals. However, the differences are not significant.
Ah, good. Right.
So they're basically just fish.
So, Shaun, I mean, I'm going to bring this to you. I mean, this is a massive problem. How would you are an idiot. That's a separate thing.
In this situation.
In this separate thing. But also in this situation, you're an idiot. And I get the Norwegian board, the government, they come to you and they say, Shaun, you're the only man for the job. We need you to capture 27,000 salmon by, I don't know, the end of the month. How are you going about it?
Big net.
Like the biggest net anyone's ever seen.
Yeah. What do salmon like anything? Like, is there anything that salmon will eat?
So you're saying release more fish?
Yeah. To then lure the salmon into the big net, and then that's attached to 4 helicopters, and they all fly up at the same time. And then we have all the salmon now in the air, ultimately about to die.
Ultimately, the salmon are now dead.
And these are
they're captured.
These are sea salmon, not river salmon. So they don't swim upstream to lay eggs or some shit.
No, they're not air salmon either, so you can't really lift them out of the water.
Unless we
genetically modify them to have wings.
I was going to say lungs, but yeah.
So you're going to give each one of them lungs?
No, nature will do that. It's going to take some time. We're going to have to let nature take its course here. So
your plan, right? You go back to the Norwegian government, you're like, look, have you ever heard of evolution? 1. 2, do we have 1 billion years?
Yeah.
Yes. I say we keep lifting them out of the ocean until one of them survives.
I think if we were fucked up enough, right, we could streamline evolving salmon to where they work for us and can breathe in both land and air and water. Okay,
my follow-up question, how?
So they're already, we have 75,000 to work with, right?
Yeah.
So how long does it take a salmon to breed?
How long does it take a salmon to breed? What the fuck question is that? Salmon don't breed.
How long, to BREED, reproduce.
Breed. Oh, sorry.
Takes 5 years to make them be able. Okay. 75,000 by 5 years. Okay, so in about 40 years, right?
Yeah, that's not maths. Did you say 27,000 by 5 is 40 years?
Hear me out. Let me finish my sentence.
Sorry, my apologies.
Let me think of a more smart answer. So in about
here we go.
40 years, we would be 8 generations down on the salmon.
Yeah, okay. That's okay.
I reckon we could get them 10 seconds of breathable air. Now, where am I pulling that number from? I just think we probably could.
It's one of those Shaun made up a numbers.
Yeah. 8 generations for humans will be about 200
So what you
years
need
ago.
what you need them to do is you need them to have become pregnant while out of the ocean. I'm thinking maybe a Blade situation. So we need...
Yeah, we need the
we need a day walker. We need a day walker to impregnate a salmon.
So, okay, here's a question.
I'm not going to know this answer, but yes.
You know how there's all kinds of fucked up dogs that mix, and you get weird versions of dogs?
You're thinking about fish.
Can a whale, right? That's a poor example, it's too big. But one of those fish what can breed on land for a while.
Yeah.
Can they breed with a salmon? Can a mammal breed with a fish, I think is what I'm asking there.
I suppose that's a question for Google. I mean, that cannot be a question for me. I'm not sure. I'm going to say no. I'm saying it's frowned upon and also no.
Can fish crossbreed? They can and do, but not very often. That's fucking helpful, isn't it?
There you go. They stick to themselves.
But some of them just can't. However, someone on Reddit had just asked, if you could cross any fish, what would you pick and why?
What would you pick? There's a good question. What would you pick?
A clownfish and a shark.
Like,
Shark isn't a fish. A clownfish and a seahorse.
if you cross a shark and a dolphin, would you get like the smartest killer ever?
I think that's an orca, isn't it? It's like a sharky dolphin. I don't know. They probably have a common ancestor.
Do you think we're ever going to replace David Attenborough?
I think so. Apparently there was one, but it died off.
Get one.
Now I can get you a wholphin.
Can you?
Yeah, it's a whale and a dolphin. It's very, very, very rare.
Very rare, but is there one about? Because I want one for my birthday.
I can. The first one was in Tokyo SeaWorld in 1981.
Okay.
Died after 200 days. Bit of a bummer.
Okay, that's kind of ruined my day.
And then sea life. Okay, I think there is one in. I think there's one in Hawaii. Yeah, there's one left.
So we're going to Hawaii, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, it's Kauai Kai in Sea Life Park. Yeah.
This is great. Now we have, let's fucking get out there. You know what I mean? Everyone head on over to the Patreon. We're going to go steal...
Dublin.
Steal an aquatic creature.
Dublin to Hawaii. We'll go Skyscanner. We'll try and budget this. I can get you a one-stop flight to Honolulu. That's 21 hours.
Yeah.
I won't be sleeping.
Obviously.
And that would be €1,250 one way.
It's an absolute steal if I was to go get my dream fucking mammal.
Now, you don't get to take it home with you. You have to just look at it.
What?
It belongs in a museum.
Fucking belongs with me, is what it does. No, I'll
treat you right.
I'll treat you fucking right. They're not treating you right down in Honolulu, right? I'll sort it out.
Also, apparently, all fish are like drastically different species, whereas all dogs are just dog. So that's why dogs can crossbreed really easily.
That's why you can't trust any fish. You can't trust any of the ocean. Things down there we don't fucking understand.
No. See that anglerfish fucking swam up from the depths?
And how big was it?
It was massive. And it was jet black.
Number on it. Fucking massive.
Fucking huge, boy. That's an omen if ever I'd seen one.
That's just one of them. Imagine the things that don't come up that are down there.
He's a scout for the rest of them, you know?
Oh yeah, he's the small lad that you send to see what's up there.
He's the fastest one. He's relaying images back to them.
Lad, we're never going to win. If they start coming up, it's game over.
That's the real deep state. It's the fucking bottom of the ocean.
The deep state. Shaun, we're going to finish off weird news this week with a monkey that has gone awry.
Already, I love this.
Minister blames monkey for Sri Lanka nationwide power cut.
Conor, was it on purpose?
A nationwide blackout in Sri Lanka has been blamed on a monkey that intruded into a power station south of Colombo. Power is gradually being restored across the island nation of 22 million people, where a monkey has come in contact with our grid transformer, causing an imbalance in the system, said the energy minister. The blackout started at 11 a.m. local time on Sunday, forcing many to rely on generators immediately. So a rogue monkey came into the Sri Lanka power engine grid after triggered a total failure of a substation, which knocked out millions of people's electricity.
This sounds like a heist, and they've trained a monkey to do it.
One monkey equals total chaos, they said.
And how did the monkey break the system? Was it wire cutters?
There was lasers. They had to it was like an Ocean's 11 thing where they built him like a practice room, and he practiced multiple times, and then he broke in, ran through the system. Yeah, and then there was George Clooney was there. There was and he was just trying to break in, and then simultaneously there was a bank robbery, I assume, happening right down the road.
Can I just say as well, and I've been thinking this for a while, the EMP plotline in Ocean's 11 really just comes out of nowhere, and it's different from everything else in the film. That's all I wanted to say.
What a niche take. How long have you been sitting on that?
I don't know. It's weird. So, down the road, there's this big EMP.
Yeah.
You know?
For what reason?
Why did they have it? Why was it in a school? What were they doing there?
Why is Don Cheadle doing it?
What's with that accent?
What's he doing the English accent for? I mean, I can't answer that. But what I would answer is...
You're a treasure trove of not being able to answer my questions.
You're asking me, right, who's breeding with who, right?
Yeah.
And what's the deal with the EMP in Ocean's 11?
I think these are all reasonable questions to ask a friend.
How am I meant to know? I suppose somebody wrote it. Steven Soderbergh liked EMPs. There's your answer.
It's alright. That's fine then. Now the fish fucking thing. What's there?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll Google that in my own time.
So, Shaun, my question to you is one, the monkey got away, right? Mm-hmm. So, the government of Sri Lanka have come to you and they have said, we have a monkey. Now, we're not sure if he's part of an Ocean's 11 crew who are committing crimes or if it's a rogue monkey. You have to assume, or if it's a rogue monkey who is just a dickhead and is just a shithouse and just trying to ruin it for everyone else. We need to capture this monkey. What's your first steps?
What I would do is I would get a big net and 4 helicopters.
Okay, that seems like something that you use for the salmon.
Well, we've got the net is made. We may as well use it, you know.
So the salmon are already in there.
Salmon are sorted. Get him to fuck a monkey and see what happens.
A few of them are breeding.
Monkey. How do you catch a monkey? Practice.
So this monkey clearly is smart. Clearly understands electricity. Clearly understands our ways. So it's something that you can maybe have to go off the grid. Maybe you got to catch him the old-fashioned way. You got to like fucking track him. Hunt with sticks and spears and things. Maybe like a box, like a stick holding up a box and then a piece of string.
Put a banana underneath that.
A banana and a string, and then when he goes to it, you pull it.
But he's a smart monkey. He's going to understand the concept of a stick holding up a box with a string on it.
Yeah, like we need to figure out this because this monkey could keep doing this. Once he's done it, he'll get a taste for it.
Or we need to. Can we offer something to the monkey? You know,
like what? Electricity.
Maybe he wants electricity. Maybe that's the monkey Prometheus trying to steal fire for his people. So we catch him, we chain him to a rock, and let eagles eat out his liver. And
then eagles, and what does that do? That just like sends a message.
Sends a message. They won't do it again, will they?
No. And what about the Ocean's 11 crew that we're assuming he's part of?
Well, they've now seen their wheelman tied up and eaten by eagles.
They've seen their monkey. Guy done, right? So they're not going to fuck with us anymore.
No, not at all. And then we let him go, and then we're like, don't do it again. And then he's learned his lesson.
Just said you're going to eat out his like kidneys and liver and stuff.
But it grows back every day.
All right.
The myth of Prometheus, Connor.
So we're going to send him back with like pretty fucked up, and then be like, tell the others.
Mentally traumatised, yeah.
Mentally traumatised that monkey.
And by this point, we'll have taken the other monkeys and we'll have taught them our ways. So now he's ostracised amongst his own people.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And this is a really important one. Do you think the rest of the crew were monkeys?
I mean, if we're doing an Ocean's 11 style heist, all the Ocean's 11 were humans.
Because in my head, it was one monkey.
Right. Okay.
And 10 humans.
See, we've been on different frame rates
because you've been saying there's 11 monkeys all working towards the same goal.
And they're all on 11 typewriters. Okay.
But do you not think it would be more logical to have 10 humans and one monkey they've trained?
I don't. I mean, yeah, but then what does it? Why would a human turn off the electricity?
Because the monkey's easy in and easy out. You know what I mean? They're really like they're fast. If you can train a monkey, that's the best way to do it.
Do you think he'll do it again if he got free?
Does he have a taste for it?
Yeah. Is he a repeat offender?
I suppose it depends on the crew. If like there's maybe an Ocean's 12 situation where like Julia Roberts shows up looking like Julia Roberts, so we have to.
Everyone else is a monkey, but Julia Roberts is still Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts is still Julia Roberts, and we refilm Ocean's 12. I think that could make money.
I think so too, Connor. Thanks for supporting me in this.
Fuck's sake. I think that's it for this week's Weird News.
What a week. Would you like me to take us out, Conor?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We will be back on Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another episode of the show. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is, of course, in the description. Head on over there if you want to get our movie reviews, access to the live streams that we do every so often, and also you get a shout out on the show. So, thank you to Róisín and Baby Ben Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer Enthusiast Evanson, new Waffles Who Dis, David Clarke, Dominic. Anna looks forward to the next Irish animal story, Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Frost, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine don't like our chances of winning the Eurovision.
Thank you, Conor and Lorraine.
It came up, but Laika's so good though. Russ, okay, let's hear this 10... sorry. Russ, okay, let's hear this 10 out of 10 name read. Also, I cannot wait for Villains for Hire. It's definitely coming, right? Parfitt.
That was definitely a 9, I think.
Fuck. Jackson Brueheim will be attending Sean's upcoming gum eating intervention. Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon. Ciara Lawler, Judge Leahy, Mikeychairsnumber1fan Shaun is cool and a genius. Rory, Sean having a crush on Master Tigress was not on Pete's bingo card for 2025.
Yeah.
Simple man. Jack Markham, Barrel of Cheese, Johnny Ray, Hunter Harvard, the Texas Ironman, Donegal George, Lisa knows down there's for dancing, Justin Bowman and Joe Reid. Thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. Head on over to the Patreon if you'd like to support us. There is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter's @HeroesForHirePod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. Blue Sky is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a 1, please.
And I think that's about it, Conor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun in.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.